Ladies and gentlemen, you are here with me again, man. Kaji and we are here to digest the English Premier League on the reaction. And you should know what is coming. Charlie, for the 20th time, Liverpool have triumphed over everybody. Charlie, all the teams, bogus, go sleep somewhere. Because at the end of the day, who got it first? Look, we don't go to classroom to go and count who was second, who was third, who was fourth, fifth. No, first. Who took the title away? That's Liverpool for you. Anfield is red, and they painted the entire England red. Whether I like it, if you are blue, if you are green, if you are whatever color, Charlie, you have to understand red is taking center stage. Liverpool have made it to the top, and nobody can bring them down. Until next season, any other team, go to bed, go and sleep. And slot, I don't know. This time on this slot, they Charlie. I don't know. What did he use in slotting everything out? Look, the kind of slot he has, I don't know whether it is a premium slot or it's just a standard slot. Or this one broke all the protocols straightforward, and he did that. He broke all the protocols from the likes of Pep Guardiola to the Artetas to who? Name them, the Amorim ball. Look, throughout the season, the Nuno Espirito Santo ball, he has slaughtered everybody. Mokoda, he's here to play football. He has done it again. Look, for the first time ever, he has undertaken or he has equaled Manuel Pellegrini's record of 2013-2014 season, where in his first time acting in the league with Manchester City, he won it in a very grand style, even though his own was very grand. You know that word, grand, right? You know what happened during that period. Let's put that one aside and move on with Han Slot, because he's the man of the moment. And today we are going to digest the squad that he has and how he has succeeded in making sure that he brought the best out of them week in, week out, even though they were flaws. Yeah, it's just like life. It won't be smooth every time. It will be bumpy sometimes. It will go smooth in other ways. But look, this guy is genius. Look at the way they trust Tottenham Hotspur. They are like, no, look. As for the Tottenham Hotspur coach, I think that guy, look, there is something wrong with him. There is something definitely wrong with him. Now let's go into the squad depth for Liverpool and let's check whether truly they've done justice to it. Ancelotti has done justice to the squad, whether he deserved it or not. Look, let's take the goalkeeping department. He had Allison, he had Davis Harvey, we have Jaros, and then he had Gallagher, right? Or Callagher, anyhow you want to mention it, as a second choice goalkeeper, Allison, by all standard. Look, it got to a point where if they had not stripped off their UEFA Champions League slots and focused on the English Premier League, they could have lost both of them. So they should start thanking Paris Saint-Germain because they did them a lot of favor, a lot of good. They were losing it. This squad here cannot win a treble. Take it or leave it. They can't. If you want to win, a treble winning team has a lot of diversity, has a lot of squad depth, immense one, quality one. And over here, taking a good look at the squad depth for the goalkeeping department, it is a very decent one. Alisson on and off, he's not always fit. However, he managed to keep him fit for the season, or he managed him very well. That in the very important games he did so well. In the defensive department, look, and Slot has done something good. Something very good. Look, we have to begin to appreciate his effort. He's not just that bowed head. Look, he got bread. He has it, bro. He has it. Having Trent Alexander-Arnold, Bradley, Gomez, who barely plays, Konate Ibrahima, Kwanta Jaro, Robertson, Andrew, Chimikas, and Van Dijk. On a real note, you could say that the likes of Joe Gomez, they are not part of the squad. How many games did he play? He is not part. And then you take the likes of Chimikas barely played this season. He didn't show up properly. Kwanzaa is a squad player. So you would always see Trent playing, and he did so well to keep Trent, even though he was picking up some few injuries. Anytime he was injured, his presence was barely felt. If you look this season, if you check Arnold very well, his surging runs during Jurgen Klopp's time had reduced. He no longer joins the attack so much. You could see that this is a team well coached. He was obeying the coach instructions. Don't go too much, even though he could join the attack on rare occasions. So you could see that his goal contribution this season had reduced drastically as compared to during his time at his time with Jurgen Klopp. Right now, let's move. So with the defensive setup there, you can't compare this defensive setup with Manchester's setup. You cannot. On any day, Manchester had Diaz, who is arguably the best defender. Look, for me, I prefer the style of Diaz to Van Dijk on most occasions. I prefer his style. Then you will come for okay. So you would want to say Akanji. So with take Akanji, bring him to compare Akanji to who? Pairing Akanji and Ibrahim Akonate. No, I think Akanji is way ahead of Konate. It depends on what style you are looking for. Let's get into the midfield. With the midfield, we have Elliot Endo Wataru. Look, this is a guy who joining the team. People said he's done with VA, and it's true. A defensive midfielder above 30 years. Will be dear no babe. But Ancelotti managed to use it. Look, at the beginning of the season, you realize that he was using him, and then it got to a point where he began to groom Gravenberch. Look, we saw a new Gravenberch as compared to Gravenberch of Jurgen Klopp. Look, he was a pale shadow of himself during Jurgen Klopp's time. But come on, then you will see a certain Gravenberch playing at the highest level. Big games, he was showing up. Why? All because of coach. Football, they are not any coaching. No, they know. It's not about talking. Too much talking doesn't solve anything. They will have Jones Curtis or Curtis Jones, Mabaya, Isaac, McAllister, Alice. So McAllister. Then you would have James. You would have Morrison, Kieran or Kieran. Then you would have Tyler, Amara. Look, Tree, Subuslai. With all due respect, with all due respect, a chunk of this midfield, right, would not make it in any of the mid-table sides in the English Premier League. Morrison, Tyler, Nalu, Trey, then you have James, Isaac, Mabaya. Look, they want, but these people are part of the squad winning the league. We barely saw them in games. They are part of the squad. So the midfield was Szoboszlai, McAllister, and then Endo. And sometimes you would have Elliot coming to change and Gravenberch. These 4 or 5 key players in the midfield make sure they won the league. They won it all. Look, in fact, I think the majority of the praise should go to McAllister. His influence in the game was so high. Look, his talent, immense talent. Good on off the ball. He's good with passing accuracy, good. Once in a while, he will give you very important goals. He won't score too much. And all this. Look, as compared to Ateta, who had a very solid midfield from the likes of Declan Rice, you cannot compare Thomas Partey to any of the midfielders in the Liverpool setup. No way. Thomas is way ahead. And yet what happened? Right? The midfield for Arteta is so solid and rich, yet he couldn't make anything out of it. Now let's find out the difference between Arteta's team and then the Liverpool team. Look, the forward, they bought a certain Federico Chiesa, Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, McDoherty, then Doherty, Trent Coney, and then Gakpo, Rio, Nunez, Salah, Young, Renner. For real. Look, Federico barely played, Coney barely played, Rio barely played. Young Renel barely played. Nunez was warming the bench off and up. I remember one of his important games, he came off the bench, I think against Newcastle, where Liverpool was trailing. He came in, Sergio Ramos won the game for the team. So he was a squad player. He did so well for the team. People wouldn't mention his name so much, but in games where it mattered, he did his best. So the difference between Liverpool and us now is this. Liverpool had a lot of firepower in the attacking third. A lot of firepower. Take Luis Diaz, Diego Jota on any day, even though he had been struck with a lot of injuries this season. Diego Jota on any day, he will do so much for you. Take Gakpo, take Nunez, take Salah. Look, I dropped my hat. I wish I was wearing a hat. I dropped my hat for Salah. He should be the player of the season for both Liverpool and for the league as well. Premier League player of the season should be Mohamed Salah. He deserves it, bro. His goals were so important. Especially, look, where the season really turned for Liverpool was when they had conceded a 1-0 loss against Nuno Espirito Santo's Nottingham Forest. That loss alone gave them a wake-up call. As compared to a certain Arsenal, who had been second for the third consecutive time in the Premier League. You lose against teams that are nowhere close to you. You drop points against the likes of West Ham. West Ham were being trashed by Brighton just yesterday. They took the lead and they were beaten again. Such a team is able to hold you to the core. Clearly, you are not ready to win the league. Clearly, you are not. Liverpool deserves it. And we are going through it. Liverpool has won the league for the 20th time. And as we speak, they are the first team, right? In terms of trophies, official trophies in the league. They lead the league with in terms of clubs who have won a lot of trophies. So I think Manchester United is on 47 and they themselves are around I think 52 or 50, 53 there about. They are about 50 leading the chart with the most official trophies won. Right, and you will have the likes of Manchester City being fourth. I think about they also have 29 trophies in their cabinet, official trophies, right? So let's go to the 20 trophies, the 20 Premier League titles won by Liverpool. So their first time winning the Premier League was the 1900 and then 1901 season. Fast forward, I think after 4 years or 5 years later, that's the 1905-1906 season, they won their second trophy. And then in the 1921-1922, they won their third, 1922-1923. So they won it back to back over there. Then they went another long drought for about 25 more seasons. And then in 1946, 1947, they bounced back to winning ways. They won the league again. 1963, 1964, they won it again. They moved into 1965-66 season. Now they moved into 1972-1973 season, 1975-1976 season, 1976-77 season, 1978-1979 season, 1979-1980 season, 1981, 1982 season, and then 1982, 83 season, 1983, 84 season, 85, 86, And then 87, 88, 89, 90, 2019, 2020 season, and 2024, 2025 season. Kudos Liverpool. You've done so much. Arsenal, learn from the best. So just as the Bible says, learn the ant race, right? So learn from Liverpool and you will win the title next season. The series must end, God willing, next season. Thanks for joining me. This is the episode for Arsenal with me, Nkadiko upon the reaction. Bye.